Good morning all. Suburban Sentinel here, coming to you once again from very deep inside the Arabian Peninsula. And hopefully in about 6 weeks I'll be back in civilization and will be able to purchase a replacement video camera so I no longer have to use these silly stock images for videos, but I appreciate your patience. Anyway, in the last video I was defending my position on the proposition that 100,000 rounds is the appropriate level of ammunition stocking for a potential SHTF scenario. I will leave the link to that video in the description box below. Anyway, through comments and through private messages, as expected, there were two general groups of people who thought that the 100,000 round minimum inventory of rifle and pistol ammunition was excessive. And again, those two groups were reloaders and those who thought that they would be able to scavenge or scrounge ammunition in the aftermath of an SHTF or other type of large-scale emergency situation. First of all, I want to say that I truly do appreciate the input. One of the things I often say in videos is that questions, enlightening comments, and differing opinions are always welcome. And that is absolutely true. So I very much appreciate those of you who left comments and private messages on the subject. That said, I still stand by and for the proposition that even those who reload or those who plan on getting ammunition from unconventional means after the fact would be well served by stockpiling ammunition in large quantities, meaning tens if not hundreds of thousands of rounds. So I will address both the reloaders, and I'm just going to call them the scroungers, which is not an insult, I just can't think of a better word at the moment, in turn. I have no problem with reloading. In point of fact, I have great respect for those of you who reload. I don't do it myself only because I do not have the time nor the space, and quite frankly, I'm a little too stupid to do it, and I would probably cause a tragic accident. But even if I were capable of reloading, I would not rely on making my own reloads as a primary means of getting finished ammunition in an SHTF, WROL, or other long-term emergency scenario. If you reload, that's great. Rock on. Just make your finished ammunition now rather than waiting for an event that we hope never happens to occur. And here's why. First is materials. In an SHTF situation, it might be difficult to get your basic materials to reload. And I'm speaking not of cases, but of powders, primers, and whatever other kind of stuff you need to make your own high-quality ammunition. Now, many of you might say, well, I'll just stockpile those things. But if you're going to do that and stockpile stuff, why not have finished ammunition that's ready to go? Second is equipment. I'm not exactly familiar with all the things that you need. I'm sure you need presses and all types of other jigs, fixtures, and the like. What if you have to bug out? It would certainly be impractical to try to bring that stuff with you, at least for most people. And I don't know of any reloaders who have duplicates of all their equipment. So that would be a big issue. Third thing is labor. Specifically and most importantly, time. Reloading may be a fun and relaxing thing to do in your spare time in a normal world, but in an SHTF or WROL situation, it's going to be chaotic. We're all going to have a lot on our plates, and the last thing we need is one more task to complete. Chances are, in one of those ugly scenarios, we are going to be pressured, hurried, tired, under a lot of stress, and those are less than ideal conditions for messing around with explosives. On a related note, consider the availability of labor. Are all of your family members competent reloaders? I hear some guys saying, yeah, well, I'll just reload and we'll have enough. But what if you're the only one who knows how to do the job? What if you, as the designated reloader, are, God forbid, sick, injured, or dead? Then guess what? That ammunition is not going to be made. In sum, I think reloading is great. If I could do it, I would do it. However, I would also think long and hard before using reloading as a primary means of acquiring finished ammunition in preparation for an SHTF or other emergency scenario. And that's all I'll say about reloading for now. Next, I'd like to address those of you who said that to obtain ammunition post-SHTF, they would either steal it and or go scavenging for finished ammunition. Now, stealing, I'm not going to address the moral and ethical implications of that. It's beyond the scope of this video. Suffice to say, I'm against it. In my opinion, stealing and scavenging are very poor survival strategies. Those who attempt to liberate resources from others using either force or trickery are bound to meet armed resistance at some point, and your luck will run out. To those of you who think that they can rely on scavenging for resources, including ammunition, think again. Scavenging is not your original idea. In an SHTF scenario, there will be a lot of people scrounging for resources. Do you really think that you will be the first one there when some poor soul no longer needs his ammunition and you'll be the one to be able to take it? Even assuming that you are lucky enough to be the first one on scene and get your hands on that person's ammunition or other resources, there's a fair chance that you may run into one of those I will steal what I need folks out there. And maybe they will liberate that ammunition from you by force. The rule of finders, keepers, losers, weepers does not apply in SHTF. Stealing and scavenging for resources out of desperation is one thing. Stealing and scavenging as primary plans for survival is a fool's folly. Those who plan to either just take or find what they need along the way are at best unrealistic and at worst delusional. In conclusion, it is my opinion that we would all be better served by having our stockpiles of ammunition and other resources made in advance. I wouldn't count on being able to manufacture my own ammunition under adverse circumstances, nor would I want to steal or count on sheer luck for finding it along the way. That's all I've got to say for now. Thanks for watching. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Please thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you like what you see. And again, questions, enlightening comments, and differing opinions are always welcome. Shoot safely, everybody.